can't even say one of my favorite fucking movies. I can't even say it right. Goodfellas. Hey, I was watching Goodfellas. What a fucking tool. I feel like such an asshole. Now I should go home and get my fucking shine box.
Yes, you should get your shine box.
Hitting to your strengths is today's episode. Matching your strengths and weaknesses to the pitcher you're facing. It's kind of the main theme today of what we're talking about, hitting to your strengths. If you don't know how to hit to your strengths, you're never going to hit successfully. And unfortunately, players, I don't know if it's a subconscious thing, but it feels like players a lot of times get into this mode where they think that they are the type of hitter, or they see the type of hitter they want to be on TV. Mm-hmm. And they want to be that type, they want to emulate that type of hitter, but that's not who they really are. And so they, instead of matching their strengths and weaknesses to the pitcher they're facing, they just accentuate the strengths of that hitter they want to be, and then they get themselves into a whole lot of trouble down the line.
Yeah, you got to know thyself.
That's really a chapter in your dad's book.
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna hit something that your body doesn't like to hit. So you do have to look in the mirror and see what do I do well? What do I hit well? Where are my hot zones? Do I hit the ball in, but how far in? Do I hit the ball better away? How far away? Do I adjust myself in the box because of that? If I like the ball a little bit further away from me, then get off the plate a little bit and be comfortable with that. Oh, I like the ball in, go ahead and crowd that plate. But then when you are working with your plan, if your strength is, pitches that are, say, down, like Mike Trout, then you need to look for pitches down. Even if you're facing a pitcher that throws up, right, and throws stuff hard up, a lot of times if you're looking down, you will lay off that because your sights are set down. Now, you might chase something in the dirt because you're looking down, but you're not going to chase that high fastball. There's a good strategy of a good friend of mine that coaches, I don't know, can I say this? Yeah. So he coaches in college. We probably all know who I'm talking about. And they faced a pitcher. There's a pitcher in the country that's really good. I won't tell you.
I think everybody. I won't
tell you what her name is, and I won't tell you where she plays.
You know what?
Or what conference.
Everybody knows exactly who you're talking about. Everybody knows exactly now.
But she's the best, right?
Okay.
And so this said pitcher throws an incredible rise ball, and she throws it for strikes, and she throws it 72 miles an hour. And so you're probably not going to hit that pitch. Even if you're sitting on it, that's a really hard pitch. But if you sit opposite of that, if that's how she strikes everybody out, you sit opposite of that. And so their plan was, we're going to look away and we're going to look down. So if anything, which is not a good pitch to hit, right? A pitch down and away is hard to hit. But what happens is if you see that ball come up out of the hand, you're automatically going to abort that swing because it's not in the tunnel you're looking for. Therefore, you don't chase that impossible pitch to hit. And it worked. And they ended up beating this pitcher who probably lost 2 games, maybe all of last year. So having a plan and sticking to it and knowing what your weaknesses are will help. For myself, I was a high ball hitter. Okay. For whatever reason, I handled the pitch up really, really well. And the pitch down, I didn't handle as much. And so the good part about that is I would lay off breaking balls in the dirt. The bad part about that is I would chase with 2 strikes. I'd chase a fastball at the letters and I would miss it. I really had a hard time laying off that. But if I had somebody that was, kept pounding me up, and I was having problems with it, I would then look for breaking balls down. I would look for, because they weren't getting me out with breaking balls down. They were flipping them over for strikes. And so I had to change my thinking, even though that wasn't my strength. But always stick to your strength. If you're a better fastball hitter, look for fastballs early in the count. Then all of a sudden, we can talk about Sawyer. He's our model in the online academy and playing at Harvard. And he went out and got a couple hits his first game. And then the rest of the series, all he saw was breaking balls. And he sent me a text. He's like, okay, I went the first game, 2 for 2. And then I never saw a fastball again the entire weekend. Okay, well, that scouting report's going to go to the next team too, and you're going to have to start sitting on breaking balls. Otherwise, you're going to continue to struggle if you don't have the right plan. So we are obviously changing all the time based on what we're seeing. But if you sit and you look for something you're not good at, oh, this pitcher throws fastballs up really well. That's what he's going to go to. 70% of his fastballs are at the thighs or above. But you don't hit that pitch, number one, you can work on hitting that pitch the week before in practice, set up a machine with a high spin rate and try to get on top of it. Or you just stick to your strength with less than 2 strikes. And I think that's what, circling all the way back to Mike Trout, that's what he's good at. Whether it's a breaking ball or a fastball down, he's sitting on it. He's comfortable with that. Even if somebody's trying to throw up, if they miss a little bit, boom, he takes advantage of it. So know what your strengths are, adjust from there if you're not, getting pitches in that location for 4, 5, 6 at bats in a row. Otherwise, you're
Well,
never
also,
going to be
may I just
100%
may I just
looking
stop you
for
for a
other
second?
pitches.
May I just stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Because you just mentioned the pitches in there, the amount of number of pitches. And I was talking about this with Cassie when I was recording yesterday on Cross Functionality. Every Wednesday, new episodes, 9 a.m. And we discussed her favorite player right now is Aaron Judge because she's a Yankees fan. Boo. And we were discussing Aaron Judge a little bit and how he only gets about, what would you say, 3 to 4 pitches per game to hit that he can actually do damage with, right? That's that's fair. So
That's a good
my
amount too.
right, okay, and maybe that's being too liberal with
Mhm.
that pitch amount. Okay, he gets just for argument's
Yeah.
sake, we'll
No, he
say he
might.
gets
He might get 1 per at bat. He
okay.
shouldn't, but he does.
So let's say he gets 3 to 4 pitches per game that he can
Mhm.
really do damage with. Okay, cool. So he gets 3 to 4 pitches. When you have a major league pitcher out there, and we're just looking from a major league perspective, but this stretches across college baseball, minor league baseball as well. You don't see too many pitches that you can actually do damage with. So, circling back to our topic today, hitting to your strengths. If you don't know your strengths and weaknesses and you don't properly prepare for that pitcher and match that with your strengths and weaknesses and trying to do something that you can't do or something that you're not built to do in the box, you're going to miss those pitches that you can actually do damage with and be productive with.
And that's why mechanics are important too, because if
Yeah.
you have a barrel drop or you have an arm collapse or you have a wrist roll, you get those good pitches to hit and you miss them. I remember my dad, man, if you were late on a fastball ahead in the count when I was growing up, because he coached me from maybe like 11 to 16. If we were late on a fastball ahead in the count, holy cow, you did not want to make eye contact with that man. I mean, that was his thing. If you pull it foul, fine. If you're early, fine. If you swing and miss at a changeup, fine. But if you are late and you foul off a fastball with less when the count's in your favor, that was not something he was going to be happy with. And that's what it is. If you get a good pitch and you're not in position to hit it, you got a barrel drop, you're going to foul it off. If you're late, your timing's not good, you're going to foul it off, and you might not get another pitch to hit. Now you got to fight. Now you got to hit that pitch. Ball 6, ball 7, on the outside part of the plate, outside corner. So taking advantage, having a plan, obviously, having rhythm, having a good swing plane, you're going to run into more barrels. But if you have a good swing plane and you have pretty good timing, but you really don't have an approach like you're talking about, if you don't know what your strengths are, it doesn't work.